everyone, and welcome to my first ever video on my channel. My name's Claire and I live in Ireland. I'm obviously not Irish, but I have been here for 10 years and I love to knit and crochet. I do have another hobby, and that would be buying yarn. I don't think that there's ever going to be a knitter or crocheter who doesn't have this other hobby as well, because buying yarn and actually using it are two different things. So I've set up this channel because I love making things, and living in a different country to where you originate from, it can be rather isolating. I don't have many friends over here, and especially the ones that I do have don't knit or crochet. And so when I talk about my projects, you don't get that excitement. I can't get them to help me with picking colours or what I should use this yarn for. Or if I say to them, oh, I'm thinking about making a pair of socks, they go, why would you make socks? Like, just buy them. So they don't have our passion for the fibre arts. I have been knitting on and off since my grandma taught me many years ago. She showed me how to knit and purl. My stitches were super tight on the needles, and she used to cast on and off for me. Then I turned to crochet back in, I want to say around 2013 time, when I had my third daughter, oh God. And I have 3 girls and 2 boys. So I had my third daughter, and I taught myself to crochet with YouTube. I find YouTube an absolute fantastic place to learn how to do things that you don't know how to do. Anytime I come across something in a pattern and I don't know what to do, I YouTube it. So anyway, I picked up my crochet hook and I started making teddies, blankets, and I found crochet was so much quicker than knitting, that I ended up doing a lot more crochet than I did knitting. So then it was only a few weeks ago that I then picked up my knitting needles again after watching some podcasts that I found on YouTube, and I really wanted to try socks. Now, I've never wanted to try knitting socks before. It was literally just before the crazy sock lady started the summer sock camp, and yeah, I started knitting socks, and I've made, I think I'm on pair 7 now, or 8, I can't remember, but I've just really enjoyed it. So after I started knitting a few pairs of socks, I started wanting to pick up my needles for other things. So I wanted to make this podcast because I'm looking for a community. I'm looking for people who can help me with make decisions, and maybe, you know, we can knit together and crochet together. Anything fibre arts, buying yarn. I'm quite happy to show you what gets delivered because my postman, I have him well trained. He knows when the husband's home. So he will tend to grab me in the van when I'm coming in to give me my parcels. I'm a volunteer at the local animal shelter. Sorry, my voice is going. I'm not so good at the moment. I've been ill so much over the weekend, but I really wanted to do this first podcast. So yeah, I work at the local animal shelter. I'm a TNR and animal rescue coordinator. I do it while the kids are at school. I go out and TNR is trap, neuter, return. I also rescue animals at the side of the road, injuries. I fill the shelter, more or less, with kittens and cats. At the moment, I have 3 tiny newborn babies in the front room, kittens that were born on early hours Friday morning to a feral mum, and the mum wasn't feeding them. She was shell-shocked. She didn't know what she was doing, so There was 5 altogether. 2 have gone to another foster, and I've got 3 in foster that I have to feed every couple of hours, which has been really exhausting, especially with being ill as well. But it's so rewarding to see when they get to 8-10 weeks and they go home to a loving family. And that's why I like to do what I do. Having kittens here that you rear from newborn, it's a pleasure, and I love doing it. So my house is full of animals, so if you hear pitter patters everywhere, that would be my animals. So yeah, so that's a bit about me for now. I don't want to fill my first podcast full of myself. That's not what I created this for. This was so that you could help me on my knitting journey and my crochet journey. So let's get into our whips. So the first whip I want to show you is my Tunisian in the round blanket cowl by Knitting Otter. So in this one, at the beginning of the year, this is a year-long cowl, she put up this beautiful hexagon blanket that was made of all these different hexagons, and it was a year-long cowl. Now you can buy the pattern on Ravelry at Knitting Otter. So I am slightly behind, and you will come to see that I'm a person that likes to have a lot of different things going at the same time. So every day I try to do so many lines on each project, and you'll see that as I go through my podcast today. So this is my latest hexagon. I think I'm on row 30 and I've got 8 left to do. Each one is 38. You can look on a blog, it's knittingotter.com, I think it is, and she will show you how to do in the round, the hexagons in the round. And Tunisian, to me, I love Tunisian crochet, and it was just so exciting that it's something so different. So I'm using a Symphony double-ended crochet hook, can you see? So one side is 4mm and one side is 4.5. So I'm using the 4 to the front and the 4.5 as my return pass, which means the colour bit. So yeah, it's turning out lovely. You get so many squares that are like that they're just they're full of colour. And then you get plainer ones. So I decided to go with grey for my plainer ones. I'm using Drops Fable for my hexagons. She wanted you to use fingering weight, and the expense of it, with it being so big, was a bit out of my budget. So I decided to use something that I could always get. So Drops Fable is like a staple in one of my shops that I use online, which is Woolly Castle. I also use Winnie the Wool Wagon now as well, but she has so many different blue types. I went for blues for my actual coloured hexagons. I have the white for around, which is the white in this one as well, and then the greys, she has a few different grey, mixed greys that I can use on that one as well. So that's what I'm doing. I find this a lot cheaper because if I buy one ball of this, it does 2 hexagons, and this one does 2 hexagons, 1 ball. So every month I just buy 3. I buy 2, 1 blue, 1 white, and then 1 grey coloured one. I find that I don't feel the pressure as much money wise because I can buy them in stages rather than buying them all at once. So that's where I'm up to on that. I think, let me just check. This one that I'm working on now is hexagon 13. Like I said, you do have of the other ones as well, the lighter ones. So yeah, I'm about 2 hexagons behind, but I don't really mind because there's no time limit on this for me. I'm not making it for a gift. I'm just doing it because I loved it, and it actually came out around my birthday time. So some of the first sets of yarns I bought was with my birthday money off my mum, because I told her I really wanted to make this blanket. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying that. It's something new to learn. I love making stuff that's intricate. I don't like boring, and you will notice that if I have a boring project, you probably won't see it again because I get booked. I I'm not doing too bad with the socks. I have done some plain vanilla socks, but I do try to break it up by making a pattern sock halfway between. So that's the first one. I don't have any of the fancy bags, and these are just lunch bags from Dunnes, £4 each, €4. And they're great, they're handy, they're big enough, and they do the job. So that's my first project. So the second one I would like to talk about is my temperature blanket. I know a lot of people don't like temperature blankets, and I didn't think I'd be one. Sorry, my cat has decided he's coming to have a look, and he never does, so it's just so funny. I didn't think I'd be into temperature blankets either, but then I found this. I love Mosaic crochet, and I found this Mosaic crochet blanket by Crochet Hook Cottage on Ravelry, and it looked different. I don't like to do the same thing, I get bored. I've seen from quite a few pictures that people have a problem with the growth of their temperature blankets. So I was looking for, I really wanted to make a temperature blanket, but I had to find the right pattern, and I found it. So I am actually on, she split it into 4 sections. So you have spring, summer, autumn and winter. So I've already made my winter one for this year, because our winter runs from the end of last December and then goes on. And each time it changes seasons, you start making a different part of the blanket. And they're in 4 sections. So I'm on the summer one at the moment. Our summer ends on the 22nd of September. So I'm nearly finished. Yay! And it's all Mosaic crochet. And what I did was I don't think I'd do this next year with this blanket. I'd make this blanket again, but I don't think I'd do the same as what I did. So for my winter section, I chose blues and greys. For my spring section, I did greens. And then my summer, I'm doing yellows and oranges. And then I'm thinking for my autumn, I'm going to do oranges and browns. But then I thought, what an imbecile. When I put it all together, it's just going to look all mishmash. But never mind. Next year, I know to just pick colours for the temperatures and just go. It doesn't matter if it's spring and it's 26 degrees, which is never going to happen in Ireland. You know, like it will be that colour. We have had a shocking summer this year. Shocking. And so I haven't actually got to my highest temperature. Sorry about the sun's just started coming through the window, so we might get a few shadows. Yeah, I haven't got to my highest colour this year because we've just really had a rubbish summer. It's rained and rained and rained, and we've not even really had the heat. So I'll try and show you this because it's massive. I'll stand back. So this is the summer section. As you can see, it's all Mosaic crochet, and I've literally, as you can see, I'm just getting to the top of my diamond now, so I've only got a few rows left. I'm using timeanddate.com to get the temperature for the day. I'm using, for winter, I did the lowest temperature. For spring and autumn, the spring I did the average temperature, so I'll be doing the same in the autumn. And then the summer I wanted to do the highest temperature. So this is what's happened. And I love it. And it's lovely and soft. I've used Durable in white. Durable is supposed to be a sport weight, 4-ply, sorry. But I find it's very, very similar to my Drops Baby Merino. Drops Baby Merino is super soft, and it's one of my favourite. Let me see if I can get a ball with the thing on. Drops Baby Merino Unicolor. This is so soft and it's lovely. Sorry, my balls have all got a bit funky. It's so soft and I love it. And this was another of those projects that I was worried about how much I was going to spend on it. So now I just buy the balls as I'm coming to the end of a ball and I don't feel it. These are 365, I think, with Woolly Castle, and about the same at Winnie Wool Wagon as well. And the only annoying thing with them is they do the number on the ball rather than the name of it. So you've got to keep an eye on that. But I really like it. And then this, I haven't got the label on it. Get down, Otis. Sorry, the dog. This is the durable in white. And that's lovely as well. So I've used that in between, and I think it's giving my blanket a bit more warmth. So it's going to be a lovely blanket to snuggle up to during the winter. I literally have the paler yellow is the lighter, like the cooler days, the very cool days. Then the darker of the yellow is the majority of my blanket. So that would be like mid. So we've had quite a lot of that. Then, where is it? Is the orange, and there's quite a lot of that. And then I've only got 3 rows of bright orange, and bright orange was 20 to 22, and that's all we've had. All we've had all summer. Useless, absolutely useless. So I did buy a red, and as you can see, it's not even open. They didn't have any of the red in the baby merino when I first started on my summer blanket. I bought 1 ball of each colour, so I ended up having to get the drops merino extra fine in red. So I've not used it. It'll go on something else, but you know, we didn't have anything that went heavier than that. So yeah, I've had no red in my temperature blanket. So yeah, this is by the Crochet Hook Cottage. You can find her on Ravelry as well. And buy the pattern because it is really, really good. And if you want to make a temperature blanket, I love Mosaic crochet. So you will see lots of them come through at some point as well, because I've made so many of them. And yeah, it's different every day. You don't do the same thing. It's not just the same line all the way, so it keeps you entertained and you don't get bored of it. And the final blanket, I think it's around, well, they're 1 metre square each section, so it's going to be 2 metres by 2 metres. So it's a fantastic blanket for later on, and I'm looking forward to seeing it finished when I've done it. I don't have a fancy bag. I have a Maxi Zoo bag. So once I got to a certain place with this to hold all the yarn and everything, see, it's cute. I didn't have a bag big enough, so I was in Maxi Zoo buying food for the dogs, and I seen these, and they were 69¢, and I thought, good sturdy bag. They had a bigger one as well, and I thought, why not? So this is kept in my Maxi Zoo animal bag. I love animals, so I don't mind. So yeah, so that is my second project. It's been a joy to make. Every day I do 2 rows. I do the white row and the coloured row, which is what is suggested. I am about 2 days behind, but that's because of the website. You've got to wait for it to update the weather from that day and the day before. But 2 lines is nothing. So yeah, so that's if anybody wants to see the winter and the spring, I am on Instagram and Ravelry. On Ravelry, I am under Claire McMahon 83, and then my Instagram is ifknitscouldkill, because sometimes I feel like they are going to kill me at this point, because I've got so many bags, so many yarns, and I just want to make everything. So that's why I thought it'd be cool to be ifknitscouldkill. So yeah, I think I've said everything I need to say about that one. So my third project is in another bag. My mum picked this up for me in England, but it's the same. It's just a lunch bag. I think she got it from Asda or whatever. And this is the Crackling Rose Shawl. It's my first of the knitting to show you, by Monster Nits. So a little bit of a background is that I bought a subscription from Life in the Long Grass, which is where they send you 3 skeins of yarn over three skeins of yarn every month for 3 months. And I'm not great with putting colours together. That is my hardest bit on making a project, is the colours. So when something's already mapped out for me, I find it so much easier. Then I just need to find the pattern I want to use it for. So this is one of those sets. Have I still got my cards? Yeah, I have. So this is Life in the Long Grass. And the set was called Water Lily Fade. So I actually bought a pattern that was going to be a make-along knitting a shawl, and my friend said, oh, should we do it together? And I thought, oh, that'd be nice, she's in England. So I said, let's do it. Anyway, she's not very well, and I'm not sure if she's carried on with it or whatever. I've not really spoke to her. I've left her loads of messages, but she mustn't be very well at all at the moment. So I've just cracked on with mine anyway, just in case, so that when we do finally talk, maybe she's, you know, she is where I'm at, or she's started it at least, you know. But I'm quite happy to just tag along. So we had a look at the pattern when it came out, and because she was waiting for her yarn to be delivered, we were a couple of weeks late starting this shawl. I'm not going to name it because, you know, I've nothing against. It's just that when we were about 2 weeks in and they'd sent a couple of the what's coming next, and you got your delivery through your Ravelry, what you know about the clues, we didn't like it. So I said, I'm not going to use this expensive yarn for something I'm not going to like. So we decided to both go off to Ravelry, type in 3 colours, because that's what we both had in 3 skeins, and type in a shawl, and we picked 5 shawls that we really liked. And then we sent each of the 5 to each other, and then we both actually had completely different shawls, which never usually happens when we pick something. We usually have at least a couple that are the same, but each one was different. So then we picked 2 of our favourites from each other's, and we put them together, and then she asked, I'm saying it because I don't want her to go off, or yours, and then she asked her to pick a number between 1 and 4. Alexa picked it, and it turned out to be the Crackling Rose shawl by Monster Knits. So I am doing quite well. I'm quite proud of myself because there's a lot of different knit stitches I've never done before, and this is where I'm up to. Sorry if my needles clang around. I'm going to try and not. I need to find the right way round. Is that the right side? Yes. Okay, so here it is. This is where I'm up to. So this was my lighter of my 3 colours. I started first. That's where the mohair's supposed to be, but I decided to use my lightest colour. This is my darker of my purple. And then I've gone back to light again, changed into the Otis. Changed into the darker, and I've just been doing these flowers, and at the beginning they weren't so great, but I'm getting better. I've done 3 lines of them now, and I think I've cracked it. I think I've understood how to do them now, but it's going to be great. I really like it. So this is going to be a Christmas gift. So I do 4 lines on it every day, and I'm going to give it away as a Christmas gift. And yeah, I love it. And I'm so glad that I chose, we got this one, because there's so many different stitches to learn, that this had loads of different ones, and every single line is different. So that suits me down to the ground, because I haven't got bored. There's no garter stitch all the way through and all that, or stocking stitch. It's literally different every single round, and I've loved that. That keeps me so entertained. I'm using Zing needles in 3.5mm. I got these for my birthday this year. I bought them myself. My family from England sends me my money for birthdays and stuff through the bank, so then I can buy what I want for my birthday. So between my mum and my oldest son, I bought my Zing needles. So I got a full set and I love them. They're really good. I have been eyeing up the Chigoos, but they are a bit out of my price range. I've tried the Chigoo needles for socks and I love them. But I think they're coming in at €138. So it's it's a bit of an expense for me. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the Crackling Rose Shawl by Monster Knits, and you can find that one on Ravelry as well, and she's also on Instagram. She has some beautiful shawls and stuff on there. Yeah, I think that's all I need to say about that one. So that's that one done. So my next one, what have I got now? Let's have a look. So this was at a late, this was at a sale that we had at the shelter to raise money, because we're all not, we run on donations. So when things get donated like this, or anything, we have big sale days, and we have like a field sale, like a car boot sort of thing, where you come and you can buy all sorts of stuff. So this was on one of the stalls, and it was left over at the night time, so I got it. And it's ideal because it's not a massive backpack, but it's big enough to hold what I want it to hold. It's just a good size project. So I only started this last night. This I am making, I've got the label here, is Stylecraft Special Iron with Wool, and I'm using the duck egg colour, which is this one. Beautiful. I love duck egg. Duck egg's beautiful. My thing's blue. I just love blue. I love blue everything. So I'm using that, and I've not much to show, but hopefully next time I'll have more to show you. But it's got cables, so I'm learning something else new. So this is going to be a winter shawl because it does get cold. So I'm looking forward to be able to wrapping myself in this while I knit in the front room. So that's that. Let me see if I can find the picture for you, because obviously, like I said, I'm not 100% great at doing this. Okay, bear with. See if I can find a big one. So this is the Almin shawl. Beautiful. I'm sorry it's in black and white, but I like to save my colour because it's not cheap. And this is by Lisa Hans, is it? Hannes at Malihad Designs. She's on Instagram, and I swear every time I see her bring a new pattern out, I want it. I have 3 of her patterns I've not made yet. Festival of Stitches, beautiful shawl, but I haven't got the right yarn for it yet. That's why I haven't made it. It's not because I don't want to. Dreaming in a Field of Yarn, oh my god, beautiful. Another beautiful one. I bought them when she had a sale recently. So yeah, so that's the one I've literally just started last night, and I'm not sure how many lines I'm going to do on it yet a day. I was thinking today I need to sit down and work out how many weeks I've got left. If I've got a birthday, Christmas, Mother's Day in mind, what I'm doing is I go to that date and I work out how many weeks I've got till that it needs to be done, and then I divide that by the number of lines I've got to do on a certain project, which then tells me how many I need to do a day. Now, most of the time, like my shawl I'm making, I want to do that for a Christmas gift, so I did it up to December. So it said I needed to do 3.25, I think, of lines a day. So I'm doing 4. So if there's ever a day I don't feel like doing it, I'm not here, I'm not feeling well, all the rest, I've got that backup plan that usually they'll be finished earlier anyway, because I've done it over that amount of time. So I always round up. So yeah, so I need to figure out how much I need to, you know, how long I've got to do this. But this isn't an emergency project because it's not a gift. So I'm not bothered if it takes me that bit longer. So it's not going to be one of the ones that I reach for in the morning or when I get 5 minutes. Sorry, my voice is going. Good job you're not here, because otherwise you'll be catching this lovely bug that's going around. Yeah, so I'm just going to map it out like I've done the rest. Everything has a certain amount of lines, and once I've done that, I can do whatever I want then, which usually means that I want to put something else on the needles, which isn't good. So yeah, so that's the next one I wanted to show you. So that was the Almin and it's beautiful. I can't wait to see it going. Is anybody doing the Go-Go shawl by Stephen West? So I've watched quite a lot of podcasters and they were all doing it last year, the year before, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Now I have been knitting for a very long time, but I'm not well up on this sort of stuff, so I thought this year I'm going to give it a go. So I have got some yarn that I bought for another project, didn't like it, ripped it all out, frogged it, and so I'm going to use that for the Go-Go shawl. Yeah, if anybody's doing the Go-Go Dynamo shawl, I'll be joining in. I'll probably really behind, but I will be joining in. My next project is, now I've not got much to show on this one. So I was successful in becoming a pattern tester for the first time. This is also by the lady, the Crochet Hook Cottage. You might have seen her on all over Facebook, so I've not really much to show you. I've only literally started over the weekend. But this is going to be a temperature blanket of the map of the world. And it is so cool. I've seen it made to I think she's on like row 264 or something. Now I did ask her and make sure, like she said it was okay that we talked about it online, because a lot of designers want you to keep things a secret and don't want you to put pictures out and stuff, but this lady, she wanted us to do it. There's a picture here I can show you. So this is where she's up to at the moment. So this is the Crochet Hook Cottage Planet Earth temperature blanket in overlay mosaic crochet. So it's another mosaic crochet one. I can't wait to see how it goes out. Now, because this is I think this is around 2 meters to finish as well, so I decided for this one I wanted to make it in the colors that go with my front room. So my front room's grey, my walls are grey, as you can see, same as my kitchen. And so I decided I would make mine in blues and greys, and then I have white for the actual countries. So I'm really looking forward to how this comes out. Keep an eye on it, because if you fancy making a temperature blanket and you're like me, you don't want to do the same thing over and over, I think this comes out in January when we've all finished testing, so you could make one next year, you know, for the whole year sort of thing. And this is the same, no rows the same. You do 2 rows a day, and there's 400 and something stitches, so it is longer than my summer section of my blanket, but it's all in one. I'm doing the year 1983. That is my birth year, and I'm doing it for England, where I was born. So I have gone on a website at the Met Office, and I've managed to download a picture of every day in 1983, and on the map get the temperature for what it was where I was born. So at the end, there's also going to be instructions on how you can put the date, which I think is great, because I thought about that when I was making this one. I was like, I really would have liked to have put 2024 on it somewhere. This one has it. So you make the whole blanket, and then in the border that she's designed, she's given you the numbers and the letters so that you can do the year that you were doing. And then at the bottom, she's also made an option where you can put the temperatures, so you know what the temperature was on them, that colour of the days. So I think it's going to be really cool. So I'm delighted with that. I'm delighted to be picked. Thank you very much. I'm so excited, and I love working on it every day, and I try to do at least 3 to 4 rows a day on that, because obviously we need to get it going so that she can get the pattern release, so then all yous can make it in January. So that's that one. So they're all my whips at the moment. At the moment, I say, because I have so many things I want to make. I have no socks on my needles at the moment because I finished my socks last night. As you can see, because I do things the way I do, I will only really be showing you progress on the other projects until they're finished. But you will probably see socks maybe every couple of weeks. It usually takes me just over a week to make a pair of socks. Hi everyone, I've been trying to finish off this podcast literally all week. My husband's just gone to pick up the kids, which doesn't happen very often, but today is his birthday, so Friday the 13th. So I've asked him to go and collect the kids, and so I just wanted to quickly finish off this podcast, my first podcast or first video on my channel, so that I can get it edited and hopefully get it up over the weekend. So yeah, so I'm finally getting back to the socks that I've made to show you. So these are the socks I was talking about. I bought this yarn while I was on my holiday recently in England. I went to the Spotted Sheep in Ramsbottom, and these are West Yorkshire spinners. I hadn't actually tried this yarn before. You can get it here, but not at many places. So yeah, it knitted up really well. It's fairly soft. It's a nice yarn. I used the Crazy Sock Lady tutorial of vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. I love the twisted rib, so that's my preferred method now. And then obviously just a normal standard vanilla sock with the gusset and the heel. And I did the rounded toe off a tutorial I'd seen on YouTube. I was watching, I can't remember his name. And I'll look that up. He's also one of the lads that does the podcasting from England, and he had done a rounded toe. So I googled the rounded toe, and I found out since by watching MSC Makes the other day that there is umbrella toe, so I want to try that. So I'll try that on my next pair that I'm actually currently working on, which if you follow me on Instagram under ifknitscouldkill, I'm in the middle of making the heel-toe do-si-do socks by the Crazy Sock Lady with my Sheepies Downtown yarn, which I have never felt something so soft. Don't rush off and buy it. I want some more. And I picked that up from Winnie the Wool Wagon, if you're in Ireland. They actually rang me this morning. I wanted to join into the Sheepies Festival of Lights, Cal, and I ordered a kit with them. I wanted the Metropolis kit, and there's the Organicon, and the Organicon has come into store but not the Metropolis, and she rang this morning to see if I wanted to swap over, and I'm not keen on cotton yarn, not for a blanket anyway. I'd rather stick to the merino version, so I've asked her to just hold off and I'll get it when it comes in. So that is my only finished object for my first podcast. These are so cool, the sock blackers, little sheep. So these are my large. I also have a smaller, the medium size as well, but I got the large last week in my order, and these were €13 I think, which isn't bad, and they're really sturdy, and they're from Winnie the Wool Wagon as well, so you can pick them up over there if you're in Ireland as well, same as me. So I just wanted to show you a couple of the most recent deliveries that I've had coming in, because obviously I'd started the podcast after I'd started getting really into the whole yarn and ordering hand-dyed yarn mainly. In future I will be putting on my podcast any deliveries that I get, but for now I just wanted to show you stuff that I've got the most recently. So I signed up to this. Now I've got is there 4 there? Yeah, I signed up to a subscription when I first started getting into hand-dyed yarn, and this is with Sophisticated Mayhem yarn. Now from what I can gather is I found her on Instagram, and she doesn't sell, like, you can't just go off a website or whatever. So I got in touch and I asked them how I get hold of their yarn, because for my blanket that I want to make an Irish blanket with all hand-dyed yarn from Ireland in. And she said that they do a subscription. So I signed up for the subscription. It's €25 a month. And they send you one mystery skein a month. So this is one of them, which is Water Your Own Garden. Now it's it looks thicker than I'm sort of used to, but maybe it's just the way it's rolled. And this is 75% merino, 25% nylon superwash, hand dyed in County Meath by Polly. So, you know, I'm trying to support Irish hand dyers by buying from as many as I can find. I'm trying to find as many hand dyers as I can around Ireland to add to my blanket. So that's one of them I got from her. I think I started getting them in May. This is another one. Yeah, this is the May one. So that one was the June. Sorry, I should have shown you this one first. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with them yet. I generally make socks. I thought I was going to make socks, and then I need 20 grams for my blanket, but I'm not sure. And this one's called Imperfection Respected, and this is the same, 75-25. Then July was green. My son will love these. He's 6, so I'll probably be making him socks out of these. And it's called Growth, because we had a very wet July. The growth in the lawn had to be done every 5 minutes, and the flowers and the weeds growing so quickly in July, sorry, that this really does work out that it's correct. And then this is the latest one I've just got, August. I've just paid today for the September, so that'll be here at the end of the month. But this is August, and I think this one is my favourite up to now. And this is, oh my gosh, it's got a dodgy name. Paia Geta? I don't know. PASSEGGIATA. I'm not quite sure, but that is beautiful. So yeah, they're beautiful yarns. I love to try and, sorry, my pug is having fun outside. I love to support small hand dyers, and I'm looking forward to making my blanket. I'm not quite sure which way I'm going to go with it yet, which blanket I'm going to use, but at the moment I've just been using them for socks or whatever projects I want to make, keeping 20 grams, and I've been keeping them all together in a box. So then once I've decided what I'm going to make, all my Irish hand-dyed yarn is all going to be ready to be put into my project. So next is Wild Atlantic Yarns. So they had a sale recently. I've already had this yarn before, and I made my husband a pair of Pierre Socks by Stephen West. Absolutely love the pattern. If you prefer a pattern that has a lot to do and it's not just plain old knitting, that sock is fantastic, because I think you do about 10 rows and they're all different of each pattern, and it's stacked on each other. So it really kept me going, and it seemed to knit up really, really quick. And this colour is beautiful. If you want to see the picture of the socks, it's on my Instagram. Sorry, it's on my Instagram and on my Ravelry project page. And this is a Coastal Winter. Can you see it? I'm not very good at this. I'm on my phone.
and it's hand dyed in Donegal. And this one is Blue Face Leicester, which was my first time using Blue Face Leicester, this one. I thought it'd be quite rough, but once I started knitting it up, it wasn't too rough. And then when I blocked his socks, I'd obviously washed them in the wool wash, and they did kind of cool down, you know, soften up a bit better. So yeah, so I got that one, another one, to make another pair of socks for somebody for Christmas. And I also got a Christmas one in the sale, and I am no good at Irish. Sorry, I'm trying to, no lag, don't know, it's Irish. And this is the same, it's 85% Blue Face Leicester superwash, 15% Donegal nep cotton. So yeah, I got this one as well, and this is for a pair of Christmas socks for somebody, and also will be added into my blanket or whatever I decide to make with my Irish hand dyed. Next I wanted to show you a relatively new hand dyer. Now, I've used her yarn before. When I first started buying, this is one of the first sellers that I found, and it's called Eve's Crafty Corner. She's on Etsy and Instagram, and she makes beautiful hand dyed yarn, and she also makes progress keepers. So I do tend to buy a few of them as well while I'm buying my yarn off her, but it's butter soft. It's 75% merino and 15% nylon, and this is the colourway Galaxy. And when I seen it all made up, I thought it's beautiful, so I purchased this one. I've also got other colourways on my Instagram with socks I've already made from her. So this is another one that will be heading into my blanket when I decide what I decide to make with it. I'm just trying to support as many small businesses as I can after losing my own business a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's another one. Not many left now. So this is another yarn dyer in Ireland, and this is Townhouse Yarns. I bought this from this is Nits in Dublin. I haven't actually been up to see it yet, but I would like to go to the shop. I have decided I'm going to try and get to as many shops as I can, and if I can record, I will do, and put them on here. And this is Guinin. Oh, my camera's not great for that. And it's Clarendon sock, and it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So that's really nice. I was thinking I might make my second daughter, she's 21 in January, some socks for Christmas. I want to send them all a pair of socks over that Mum's made. So hopefully I'll have my vanilla sock pattern down to a T by then, and I'll be able to make them all a nice fabulous pair of socks. So that's that one. This one is Hedgehog Yarns. So recently she did a sale, mystery sets, and this is the mystery set that I ended up getting delivered. Sorry, I'm messing it up. 3 completely different colours, I think. I'm not sure if I put them together. Maybe the first two, them two. Maybe I put them together, but yeah, it's nice. So these are all different. That is 80% Blue Face Leicester wool and 20% nylon, so that'd be okay for socks. That is colour Potluck. Then this one is 100% merino. Oh, they all say Potluck. That's because I bought it as a potluck. What you got? And duh. Oh my god, I upset myself sometimes. So there's no names on these, so I can't tell you what the colourways are. But yeah, hedgehog fibres. And this one is 90% merino wool, 10% nylon, so that's all right for socks as well. But I was actually thinking maybe not this particular one because it's got pink in it, but I'd like to make my husband a Musselburgh hat. So that's that one. This one I bought how cool is this? All I kept thinking was the English flag. So I bought this one from Twin Nits, and she's in England. She has the most beautiful colours on her website. I found her through Instagram and looked at her website, and I had this delivered to my mum's so that when I went to England I picked it up. I got a couple of other bits off her as well, and she does a few other things, little bits of project bags, scissors. She does them yarn holders, the spinny ones that you can wear on your wrist, and knit and go sort of things. Beautiful yarn. So these are going to be my socks. And because this is in England, this is going into, the rest of it is going to go into my other section that I have in my drawer of all hand-dyed yarns that I've bought, that it doesn't matter where I've bought them from. I've put them into that box, wrapped up in 20-gram balls as well, so that I can make myself a blanket or something later on. But yeah, this one is amazing. And it's 80% merino, 20% nylon. So I'm looking forward to my socks in that. It's really cool. And I just thought it'd be my English socks. Second to last, sorry if I'm going on a bit. This came from my spotted sheep haul. So when I went to visit the spotted sheep in Ramsbottom, she had some hand-dyed hung up. And I picked this one. Because it was unusual. I'm not usually a green person, but this is actually Knit Pro Symphony hand-dyed yarn. There's the price I paid, £13.99. Bargain. It's about 20-25 euro here for a skein of hand-dyed yarn. So it was a lot cheaper. 75% superwash merino, 25% polyamide. So yeah, these are going to be my English holiday socks when I do finally make them, and the rest will go into my all hand-dyed yarn blanket. But although I think I'm more going to just put any of the fingering weight that I have spare, so from the Fable that I have left from a hexagon blanket, and the baby merino that I'm using in my temperature blankets, I think I'll be throwing all them in as well to make a nice big blanket. Last ones I want to show you, I've had these a while now, but the Go-Go shawl, Dynamo shawl by Stephen West. This is the colourway I've picked out. Now, I bought these yarns for something completely different and tried it, so that's why I'm only showing you 2 balls. But I have actually got 3 of each of these. The previous one I didn't like it when I'd made it up, and when Stephen West said that you only needed 2 different colours and 2 of each, I decided to go with this one. So this is going to be my Stephen West shawl, hopefully, if I can do it, because I know a lot of people say it's very difficult, some of the stitches he does, and I'm only newly back into knitting. I have no idea about brioche, I'll have to learn it, but these are the ones I've picked out, and this is Vera Yarn Designs. Her colours are stunning. She is an Irish dyer as well, so this will be going into my Irish blanket. And this is her merino sock high twist base, both of them. And they're both 100% superwash merino yarn, 2-ply. So I figured that these would make an amazing Stephen West shawl. So we'll see how it goes. But is anybody else getting involved? Are you gonna do the shawl? I'll give it a go. I've watched a couple of the other podcasters, Knitty Natty and the Crazy Sock Lady, talking about it, and they have done them in the past, and some of them did look pretty difficult, but I'll give it a go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that now. So I've already got my yarn for that, so that's good. So yeah, that's all my yarn haul for now. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, I'd like to bring to my videos my days out to yarn shops. I'm also can't wait for Dublin Fibre Festival in Dublin in October. So I'd like to take you along to that if I'm allowed to film. I'll be taking plenty of pictures. It's our chance to be like the Americans, going to all this flock and all these different ones. I feel like when I watch some of the podcasts, Knitting Natty, TL Yarncraft, and they're heading off to Flock, and I'm like, oh my god. So this would be amazing to go to this fibre festival and go and see, you know, what they're doing. I also would like to show you some items in future, different yarns. Sorry, my hoodie's all mad and everything, my work stuff. Yes, I've been out working this morning. I'd also like to show you some different yarns and what I've got to think of in the future. I've actually picked out and bought this pattern when Andrea Mallory had her sale the other day. This is the V-neck boxy. So I've picked that up, and after watching Emma C makes, I do like drops yarn, and I decided to try drops Nord because I know she uses that quite a lot for her jumpers and her shawls. So I've picked out that one to make the jumper, but I'm going to buy it in stages because I need a fair amount of balls because I'm not the skinniest of person. But I thought if I buy it every so often, every time I run out of a couple of balls, I'll buy another couple of balls. Then I won't feel the pinch as much when I go to make it completely. I've got more that I wanted you to help me with patterns. I will be making videos of patterns, so different types of shawls and blankets and crochet, knitting, Tunisian crochet, mosaic, everything. I'll be bringing them in. I think it'd be exciting for you to vote and see what you think I should use certain yarns for. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks for staying with me. It's been a very long one for my first one. You can find me, like I say, on Instagram and Ravelry. I'll link it down below anyway. I'll link all the patterns I spoke about down below, as well as the yarns, the yarn shops, everything that I've spoke about that needs a link attached. I'll attach everything below. I would love if you would follow me and subscribe. Like the video, give me nice comments, please be gentle, it's my very first one, and if there's anything I can do to improve, just let me know, and then I know for next time. So I'm hoping to get these up quite regular, because I'm probably going to have to do exactly the same thing as what I've had to do today, and video one bit of it, and then the next bit, and then the next bit to fill up while the kids are in school. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.